Aloha, sexy, yummy, delicious love tribe. Guess what? This is the brand new season of our podcast, and we have renamed it Dance Our Dreams Podcast because that is the project that I am working on tirelessly so that we can create peace on our planet through dancing and music and manifesting and micro mastery practices together. So I'm working on these wonderful events that are coming to a city near you. We're going to be doing little festivals, little tours. We're going to be doing just little 1 hour power hours for this. So the idea really is about using the magic of our bodies and collective intention and manifesting so that we can make the world a much better place. And so what's really fun is we are going to be linking the podcast. So we were the Big Dream School podcast, and I've shifted it over to the Dance Our Dreams podcast just to make everything the same name, keeping it simple, right? And we're still going to be doing a SDG of the week. We're going to be doing a song of the week. And of course, we're going to be doing an experiment of the week because that's where we get to make these little micro changes in our lives that will make macro difference, right? So this week's episode is one of my favorite topics and definitely one of my most favorite topics, and it's self pleasure, sacred self pleasure. Not only just let's go, release some tension, it's really about taking your practice, your personal pleasure practice, to the next level of purpose in your life. And because I know you're a dream jockey and you're a change maker and you're somebody who wants to make a big difference on this planet, you need to have all of the energy resources that live within you utilized to their maximum capacity. Okay. And so understanding that our sexual energy, this magical gift that created us, that created all of life on this planet, all of the humans and the animals and the mammals, like that's what is like the most powerful underutilized resource, I think. And so several years ago, I developed my own self pleasure practice that every time I would have an orgasm, prior to even having the orgasm, I would start a ritual and a ceremony with myself. I was sexually sober for 2.5 years, which was really weird for somebody like me who is hypersexual. I really am. And so I had a couple little micro one night flings because I just thought I could do that. But I was like, nope. So, but for 2.5 years, I chose to work on myself internally and spiritually and emotionally and physically and energetically. And I really got so much out of that period of my life that I want to share it with you. And so one of the practices that I developed for myself was working with my energy system and working with my chakras and working with prayers for the planet and prayers for my body, prayers for the people that I love with my orgasms. And so this is a deep, deep practice. This podcast is not going to teach you the ins and outs of your chakra system. It's not going to teach you the ins and outs of all of your energy bodies and your auric fields. It's not going to teach you that. What we are going to talk about, though, is the concept that that's what we are. We are these energy bodies. Energy can neither be created nor destroyed, merely changed form. And so, we are, the whole entire universe is made up of the same thing at the quantum level. And so when we learn to tune into that truth and guide it with our intention, guess what? We get to create magic, okay? And so the episode is about sacred orgasms to heal yourself and the planet and to manifest your big dreams. Okay? And so my personal practice that I came up with, I was practicing self-pleasure, and sometimes I would watch porn and then I would not feel good about myself, but I was like, okay, I had an energetic release, but I'm not feeling, I'm not feeling as nourished as I wanted to feel. And so I started this practice of, okay, I'm going to start to pray every time before I, practice self-pleasure. I am going to scan my body. I'm going to scan my system, my operating system, and notice, like, am I having trouble communicating? That might be something with my throat chakra. Am I feeling, resentment and anger towards somebody? Like when I was going through my divorce, ooh, baby, I tell you, there was a lot of that going on. And so I had a lot of heart healing to do. And a lot of solar plexus stuff with my power. So there's all these different chakra areas that, have different energetics and emotions and feelings and things associated with them, and dis-ease associated with them as well. So I started just doing a tune in, prior to this practice. And I really started noticing like, I'm really feeling like clogged up here, or I'm feeling like there's not a lot of energy flowing, or maybe there's too much energy flowing in another area. And so I really started becoming a Jedi in that way. And before my practice, I used to do this when I would practice Reiki and massage therapy and holistic modalities that I used to do decades ago when I was a practitioner in San Diego. And it's like, oh yeah, I want to bring all that back into my life. And as a Kundalini yoga teacher that I did this training, I was reminded again, oh right, there's all of these systems. So how can we utilize our sexual energy to clear the system, to fortify and nourish the system if it's lacking some energy, And then it started occurring to me. I was like, what if I'm feeling good and I don't have anything going on with me anymore, and I want to share my wholeness in this energetic of this orgasm with somebody else or something else on the planet, but not in person with them, So let's say if my child wasn't feeling good, or if I was thinking about, a disaster that had just happened, or the climate change, or things that, are outside of myself. I'm like, how can I connect with my God, spirit, universe, source, and get deeper with her in my practice and use my body and my orgasms for good. And so I have this little thing called Orgasms for Peace. And I really do believe that if we mindfully don't waste any more of these energetic, firework explosion opportunities to be mindful, I think we can make a radical difference on our planet. And there's a lot of people who believe this, but this is extremely weird and new concept for most people who are listening to this podcast in this video. So don't be scared. It's fun. It involves your pleasure. And it's not just about the whole practice is like, okay, I have to pray for peace, pray for peace. No, if you need to like fantasize and think about the things that get you off and excited, do that. Okay, here. So we're going to go through the practice. Okay, so it's super fun. So when you practice self-pleasure, are you just, oh, I got 5 minutes, I'm going to go, bang one out, watch the porn, or I'm going to bed, so I'm just going to I need something to help me relax. And then you just masturbate and then fall asleep, or, and you're just kind of like in your sweats, or, you're not showered, or, there's no music on, you're just kind of like this thing that you do to get it over with and be done. I have done that many times in my life because it was just, that's what I had done. And now I never do that. And I'm so grateful because every time I treat this as a sacred union with spirit, using my body and my orgasm. So I have this little oil. It's like a little passion oil. So it just smells good. And I like to smell something nice because I like smell. It's kind of cinnamony and sexy. So if you have something that you like to smell, or a candle that you want to light, do that. The other thing that you can do is, put on sacred music. So before I start my practice, and I consider this a practice, it's a spiritual practice for myself. And I like to call in my guides, and I ask for protection. And I say, may this be, this energy be used for the highest and best good of all beings throughout all space and time. And may I be healed through this practice, and may this practice help support the healing of all. And it really means a lot to me because it sets the intention for this gorgeous energy to be utilized, And so I just feel really good about this practice. And so sometimes I have music on, sometimes I don't. It depends. A really beautiful song is called I Am by Narinjan Kaur. And is it Matthew? Matthew Shonin, sorry. But it's such a beautiful, just a soft, yummy, sacred song. And it's just talking about being one with the earth and being one with God. And the I am, the I am, the I am. And, you are one with the earth, and you are one with all of life throughout all space and time. And it's when we accept the truth that we are all interconnected infinitely, then our choices can be different. And so by doing this practice, it's an embodiment practice, and it's also a directional practice of your energy. So you get to embody the truth that we all are connected, you know. And so to me, it's such a sacred practice. And so again, so I call in my guides. I do some yummy smelly stuff. Sometimes I'll put the music on depending, and then I do a scan of my body and my energy field and see, like, where am I feeling that maybe, again, there's not enough energy flowing, or maybe there's too much and I need to calm it down or bring that energy somewhere else in my body. You guys notice I have all my boyfriend up here for this episode. I love this man so much. I made this hat thinking about him. Think about what turns you on, and so for me, fantasizing, I have a lot of fantasy yumminess that lives within me that involves, worship and just treating me like a goddess that I am, and having lots of men and women just all around me and just taking care of me with like naughtiness and just being like, we're going to get this for you, Val. Like, we love you. And so I imagine really being loved and nourished and worshiped and spanked too, because I like to be spanked. But really it's celebrating like the love. And so when I feel super nourished and full of that love, then guess what? I can be a directional giver of that, a redistributor, as it were. I like doing that with wealth and money too. It's like, okay, I want to bring in all this money and wealth, and then I want to redistribute it in places that I feel, called to from spirit. So doing that with my energy through this sacred sexual practice of self-pleasure is super duper cool and important. Okay. So, I have my little friend. I love my little vibrator. She's awesome. And so I like to use this sometimes. Sometimes I just use my hand. It just depends. And then again, I like use your own fantasy visuals and language, but set the intention after you do your scan, right? So you're going to scan your body. You're going to realize, okay, my heart, I'm having resentment in my heart. I want to open that up. I want to bring, there's different colors that are associated with each chakra. Sometimes I'll call in that color, and I'll also call in gold light. And I like to just purify myself, or if I need to fortify and hold the energy there. So there's two ways that I do this, okay? So if I'm noticing a block within my body, I will call the energy up, and it's always coming way down from down here, and I'll pull it up through my Shushmana, the middle channel in my body, and then I will release it through one of the chakra centers. And so sometimes if there's something that needs to be like blasted out and kind of broken away, I'll call it up to clear, and then sometimes if I'm feeling like I'm so empty and I'm so sad, like rather than, I'll call it up into the same spot, rather than blasting it out and clearing stuff, what I'll do is I'll circulate it, and I'll visualize that orgasm circulating in that particular area and filling me up and just nourishing whatever is going on there, and so that I get to hold on to that energy. Okay. And then, the third way is if I'm feeling like I am aligned, things are good, I'm not really needing like, the clearing or the nourishing, what I will do is I will pull it up, and I'm using my heart as another example, but I will pull it up through my heart and out to the earth. And I will think about the water. I will think about the children. I will think about the people. I will think about the skies. I will think about people's hearts and minds making conscious decisions for love and for our planet. And so that's a really special spot for me to be in. And so I love when I am feeling good enough that I can go do that with my orgasms. And sometimes I'll do it to a project that I'm working on. Okay, so you can do it to anything. And so this Dance Our Dreams project has gotten a lot of my orgasms. And so you can put it to something so that it becomes and manifests into your life. And so an art project, a business project, a writing project, whatever it is, focus on that and what you want it to look like, and you can direct your orgasms to your magical project. Okay. And I promise you it works. There's this subtle level of energy that is getting fed through the quantum field. And it works. And that's what I want you guys to try this week in this week's 7-day Rock Our Dreams experiments. Okay. And so we are going to use self-pleasure to heal ourselves and our planet. Okay. So figure out what your self-pleasure practice looks like. And if it needs a little bit of fine tuning so that you can treat it as a ritual and a sacred practice, figure out what that's going to be for you, And then, the SDG of the week is climate action that we're talking about. Okay. And so obviously climate action is massive and it's number 13, and we need all the support that we can get. And so we can do all these little micro things to change our planet and help the climate action, be less. Like we can carpool, we can, take public transportation, we can eat less meat in one day. One of the number one things I learned is, and I was surprised because I took a quiz. I'm like, how much do you know about climate change? And I'm like, I know so much. Look at me. I'm like so smart. Bullshit. I didn't. One of the number one things that is contributing to climate change in the food sector, and I thought it was going to be eating meat, right? And it's not. I think that was number 2 or 3. The number one issue that is causing, that's contributing in that sector is waste, is food waste. And so we have so much waste that, it costs so much money to produce all this food, and then we're wasting it, and then it's, turning into these gases. So I was just like, oh, okay. So I'm even more mindful of not wasting food. And, as a single mom, sometimes that happens because when I don't have my kids, I got as leftover macaroni and cheese in the fridge. I'm like, shit. So I'm getting more mindful with, how to cook and not make sure I'm not wasting things, it's unnecessary. So there's that. And each week we talk about a philanthropic organization that supports the SDG of the week. And so the one we chose this week is called the Climate Reality Project. Al Gore started it, and they're really interested in getting people to take the most action that can create the most amount of impact on climate change. And so they do outreach programs, they educate, and they get leadership in each, they're trying to get leadership in all the communities so that people feel empowered to make these choices with education and with, their personal practices. So, I really do love linking the SDGs. Like I said, I think, it's so important that we all have our big dream aligned with the big dream of the planet. And the more that we, sync up with an organization or a cause that is greater than ourselves, we can feel connected. And when we're connected, guess what? We feel less depressed. We feel less anxious. We feel less hopeless. We feel more empowered, and we feel just like, I know that we can make a difference on this planet. And so I know that I'm sometimes a lone wolf, wolfess. I don't know what you call that, but I know for me, like one of the things that is just magical medicine is getting out and being with people who have the same mission as I do. And so doing this Dance Our Dreams project, bringing people together, using the experiments of the weeks and the SDG of the week in the Dance Our Dreams experiences and the events that we're going to be sharing with you all. It's like we're creating this tapestry of consciousness around the planet, right? And so we're all interwoven. We're all little nodal points in that tapestry. And our love and our passion is what's going to connect us, and our willingness and our commitment to make a big difference on this planet. And so I'm really, really excited to launch this and bring this forward to each of you. And so the Dance Our Dreams podcast is going to continue along the path of, inspiring us, connecting us, empowering us, and elevating us. Okay. And so that's what we're going to keep doing. And I'm super grateful that we got to do this podcast together, this first Dance Our Dreams podcast episode about sacred sexual orgasms for one. You get to see, look, I'm doing the and we're also doing this video version of it as well. So I think it's going to be really cool. And that's it, guys. So, okay, get your dream sheet. You can also get your Rock Our Dreams experiment sheets, okay? These are fun. I need to have sticky notes all over my life to remember to do stuff. And so these experiment sheets, you can get them on the website, djvaleriebelove.com/podcast or /experiment, and you can go get the downloadable. And I also have, because they're 7 days, you also get, if you get these from the website, I'll get you guys a 7-day video experiment and just teach you how the experiments work. Because each day of the week, I've decided that I want to have like a little theme of the day for that particular experiment. And so it's like we have Manifesting Monday, Trust It Tuesday, We Got This Wednesday, Thankful Thursday, Funk Yeah Friday, right? We got Sexy Saturday. And then we have Soulful Sunday. So I like to have a rhythm in my life. As a DJ, rhythm works for me, and having a little container. So it's kind of fun and playful, like my team and I, it's Trust It Tuesday. So we're like, hey guys, happy Trust It Tuesday. And that reminds me, like, when I'm in the middle of doing something kind of difficult, remember to just trust spirit. Trust something that's greater than myself to handle it for me, okay? And so it's just these tiny little reminders as we dance through our week together, and we dance with our dreams on the planet together. And so that's it. So I'm so excited. We're going to have the best season yet. And thank you so much for letting me be a part of your life, okay? And if you have any questions, you guys can always find me on Facebook at DJ Valerie B. Love, or Instagram, or you can email me at aloha@djvaleriebelove.com. I will get back to you at some point, but because I do get lots of emails, but I will respond to you. So tell me how your experiments are going. Tell me what you want to hear on the podcast. Tell me what you don't like, and then let's keep rocking, And I'm so excited again to be on this journey with you. So from my heart to yours, peace, love, and warm aloha.